The numerous bike riders, joggers, rowers, walkers, sailors, paddlers, anglers, tourists, and others who enjoy the beautiful Charles River Esplanade Park and the Charles River itself, widely considered to be Boston's foremost natural treasure, might find it hard to imagine what this part of the city's waterfront looked and smelled like prior to 1908, when the Lower Charles was tidal. At low water, much of what is now the river's Lower Basin was exposed as a putrid, debris-laden mudflat. In short, it was not an inviting place. That all changed in 1910 with the completion of a dam across the river where the Museum of Science now stands, creating a wide basin with a relatively constant water level. At the same time, the original Esplanade, a narrow strip of grass and walking paths between Back Street and the river, was created as an extension of Charlesbank Park, at the easternmost end of the Esplanade. In the 1930s, landscape architect Arthur Shercliffe nearly doubled the width of the Esplanade and added canoe launches, monuments, extensive tree plantings, and bench-lined pathways. Construction of Storrow Drive in the 1950s spurred the creation of the Storrow Lagoons to compensate for land lost to the highway. Yet even after the creation of the Esplanade Park structure as we know it today, an ugly elephant remained in the room: the river itself.
400 years of industrial dumping, sewage, slaughterhouse materials being dumped into the Charles. Those who fell in it, not that long before I was born, you would be warned to get a tetanus shot. It's unimaginable to us now because the Charles River is really the jewel of Greater Boston. But when you had 400 years of that, it was in pretty bad shape by the 1900s and 1965 when CRWA was founded. We sample the Charles River. We work with the EPA to issue a report card every year so that people can understand the quality of the river. So a lot of our work revolves around bringing nature back into our built environment, sort of reversing some of the decisions that have been made over the last 400 years and having a different mindset. Not so much we will control nature, but rather we will work with nature, because at the end of the day, Mother Nature is going to win, and people need to realize while the river is cleaner than it was, the job isn't done. And I do worry sometimes if we tell too much the story of how clean it is that people think, oh great, the work is done. The work is not done. As the water has gotten cleaner and more attractive, you have more private interests wanting to block it off for their own interests. And so that is part of our work also, is to be continually fighting to make sure that there is public access to this beautiful river that we all paid to clean up.